I got a lot of projects I'm working on. Like right now, this car particularly is part of it's a whole First Amendment free speech thing. I'm going to be part of the Robert Mapplethorpe exhibit at the CAC. I can't. This picture's not public. I can't show it to anybody until it's officially done. The woman from New York City came down and took a picture. Leslie White. She's awesome. But this is the picture that's going to be at the CAC as her submission. Sued the city of Cincinnati for $25,000 a couple of years ago. They arrested me for saying a joke. I was promoting comedian Musket Dystrophy website Life of the Cripple Girl. Original charge on the ticket was a grossly abusive language. That's what they put on the ticket. I used grossly abusive language.
I'm Professor Ken Katkin, and I teach constitutional law here at Chase College of Law. One of the leading cases on the use of cuss words in public is a case that the Supreme Court decided in the 70s called Cohen versus California. And Cohen versus California involved a guy who wore a leather jacket, and he had written the words "fuck the draft" very big on the back of his leather jacket, and he wore it around town, and he wore it to the Los Angeles County Courthouse, and he was wearing this jacket in the Los Angeles County Courthouse. And there was a mother there with her preteen daughter, and the mother with the preteen daughter asked one of the marshals in the courthouse to ask Mr. Cohen to take his jacket off because she didn't want her daughter to see the cuss word, and they did ask Cohen to take it off. He wouldn't take it off, and he got arrested. But he took his case to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in his favor. They ruled that he did have a First Amendment right to have the words "fuck the draft" on his jacket. And the court ruled that the mere use of cuss words doesn't take speech outside the protection of the First Amendment. It's just as protected with or without the cuss words. That this was contributing to the exposition of ideas. The court had this great phrase where they said, "One man's lyric is another man's vulgarity," and they also noted that it would actually be hard to get across exactly the message he was trying to get across with exactly the emotional or emotive content that he was trying to get it across with in words that would fit on the back of a leather jacket any better than the words that he actually chose. So they sort of endorsed his use of language there. And there's a handful of other cases after that typically all go the same way, that the use of cuss words sort of as part of the exposition of ideas is fully protected by the First Amendment just as much as if the cuss words weren't used.
People were calling the police on me because they think my car is legal or it should be illegal. You know, when you think about that, that's kind of scary. I mean, it's funny in a comedic sense, but the fact that people think this is against the law or this should be against the law, that should be a red flag.
You know, there may well be statutes and ordinances on the books that say that it is illegal to have profanity around children. So city councils, state legislatures can pass laws like that, but the First Amendment makes those unenforceable.
It's after all, you live in the U.S., we're supposed to have free speech.
You're right.
You can see in other countries we don't always have it.
The purpose of art is to create conversation. The purpose of art is to create a visceral reaction in people.
There is a First Amendment right to say things that the community at large would find offensive, or even that some individual listeners would find offensive. So if it's not an individual threat, epithet, or insult, what the Supreme Court calls a fighting word, but it's just really the exposition of ideas that are offensive to people that people don't want to hear, that is First Amendment protected.
The profanity aspect, obviously, for the First Amendment, I mean, my book's called The Motherfucker. I think the word motherfucker is positive. I think, like I said before, it's about people who just say, fuck you, motherfucker, out and pursue their dreams, their passions. And you need to create a reaction, and that's how you get things done.